Hello everyone and welcome. This is Nanotech Noob, and today I'm bringing you a mod that I created for Factorio. So first off, to download the mod, you go into the mods folder. I'm sure if you guys are looking at this, you know how to download mods, but go ahead and go over to install, click on search once it allows you to, and type in the resource fabricators. So basically, we'll click on this, click install, then click confirm. I've already done that. And I will go ahead and get us into a world where I've got a demonstration set up. So basically how this mod works is you open up your inventory, you'll notice there's a new tab. This is the resource fabricators tab and all the crafting stuff that comes with it. So when you're playing, none of these top 3 rows will be available to you. It will only be these ones, but I have cheats enabled just so I can set up this area real quick. So when you start off the game, you start off with a stone furnace, a burner mining drill, a piece of wood, and 8 pieces of, or 8 iron plates. So to get started with this mod, first off you want to generate a world without any resources. So as you can see, this world has no iron, copper, coal, or stone, or oil, or uranium nearby. That is because it's designed to be a challenge mod. So when you first start off, you use the mining drill in 5 of those plates to craft yourself up the burner resource fabricator. And inside of this, you'll see that there are 4 crafting recipes for coal, stone, iron, and copper. These ones will take 25 seconds to craft, and you get 10 of each. The downside being you can only have 1 of them at a time, so say you wanted to craft coal. When you click on the recipe, you'll notice it looks sort of like how a furnace looks, but it's also got the same setup as one of these assembling machines. Note also, if you head into an assembling machine, you won't be able to see any of the other things, just the fabricators themselves. So when you get started, you want to craft up the resources. This is the only way for you to get resources. So say you wanted to craft up a bunch of iron, go ahead and throw in your coal, and that is a very slow process, but you will get 10 at a time. It takes slightly longer for this one. As you can see on the right hand side, the crafting speed is 0.5, meaning that it will craft slower than the recipe says. So once you get started with that and get a bunch of these crafted up and you're starting to make production, if you go ahead and hit T to get to your researches, you'll notice that there is one that is incomplete, which is the resource fabrication, or the electric resource fabrication. Now, this comes after steel processing because it does require steel to craft the first tier electric resource fabricator, and I noticed that this texture is wrong. That's alright, I'll get that fixed. But it takes 10 of these automation science packs, or 50 of them, at 10 seconds each, and you will unlock yourself the resource fabricator. Now the electric resource fabricator does the same thing, it's just it crafts faster and pollutes less. You'll note this one has a pollution rate of 2 per minute, this one has a pollution rate of 1.5, and it decreases by 0.5 as you go on. So the next tier up is the electric resource fabricator 2. This one now gives you access to crude oil and water. The difference between these ones is instead of taking fuel, well, since they're electric, they don't need fuel, but they do need empty barrels. So say I wanted to craft up some oil. This one will take 30 seconds to craft up 1 empty barrel, which is the equivalent of 50 crude oil. Then, on the other hand, you've got the water, which takes 15 seconds. You also have to provide it with an empty barrel. Alright, so the last tier, tier 3, oh, actually, before we get onto that, the fluid resource fabrication requires the electric resource fabrication and oil processing to be researched already. Alright, moving on to the third one, we go ahead, click on this one, you'll see It needs the fluid resource fabrication and the chemical science pack, as well as logistics 2 research in order for you to have access to the advanced resource fabrication. Now all the advanced does is add in the ability to craft uranium. You get 50 per craft, but it takes 2 minutes for it to craft, and you also have to supply it with sulfuric acid, just like how you have to supply the electric miners sulfuric acid in order to mine it. So go ahead and throw it in there, and you can see that it is relatively slow to process. But anyways, that is how you can progress through the game using only this in a challenge world that has no resources. But in any case, that is all that I have to show you for today. If you liked the video, then feel free to click the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to share it with a friend. If you didn't like the video, then share it with an enemy. But I'm Nanotech Noob, and I will see you guys in the next episode.